Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
Sharks, I've gone a C+. I think there's questions that I've had asked that have been kind of answered for me. Like the Trindall Hynes combo. I still don't think it's perfect, but I think they've got a vision of how it can work, and I think it can work.
Start to year to end to year, it's definitely improved.
It's improved for sure, and I think they're learning. I think it's mainly them kind of working towards each other. It's not other people trying to force it to happen. I think it's them. They've got to accept it.
Yeah.
And I found when Nicho Hynes took a step back and played his running game and let Trindall do everything, it didn't seem like Trindall was stepping on his feet as much.
But even still, Hynes would alternate well and ice plays as well.
Yeah, and they've got to let that happen. Trindall's got to let that happen. So they've both got to take some and give some.
I actually think that the Chanel-Luke Metcalf pairing is the blueprint for how that's going to work because they just seem to rotate so well.
Yes.
I think that's the blueprint of what Trindall and Hynes needs to be.
100% agree. Too often they had Trindall roaming both sides of the field and they had Hynes both sides of the field. Play Hynes like a fullback playing both sides of the field and have Trindall. I mean, you can do it with Trindall at first receiver, both sides of the field.
Yeah.
But don't have him at second receiver icing plays. That's what frustrated me most. But I think they just need help at fullback. Yeah. And I think that's the one issue that I feel like struggled them to win those finals games. I think Blake Brayley come a long way. Sorry, I'll let you go before.
So they've got Liam Ison there.
Yep.
How many games, Will Kennedy's still been playing well, and I felt they ended the season really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you think, though, if you don't, what's the expectation that we have on Will Kennedy, though, for the future? What is the, expectation for his form for him to keep his spot?
I've been thinking about this so much, not about Will Kennedy in particular, but I look back to teams that have won premierships, and there's always a superstar in the side. And you could argue Nicho Hynes is that guy, Blake Brayley's that guy, and you could argue that 2016 Sharks, they didn't have that either. I mean, they had Ben Barber, James Maloney, and Andrew Fafita, which I think is enough.
Yeah.
But this Shark side, they've got Nicho Hynes, who's not quite the top tier of players in the game. He can be there when he's on his day, but I think they just need someone in that fullback position that can kind of help that to win a comp.
Yeah.
And I think it's proven that Will Kennedy is not that person.
So how many games do you reckon it will take before we know if Will Kennedy's going to play in 2027 for the Sharks? How many games are you giving Will Kennedy to make an assessment of if he's going to be the fullback?
I think they're just keeping him there next year to see how Liam Ison goes, to be honest.
But that's my sort of my question. How many games are you giving Will Kennedy then before Ison comes in?
Well, personally, I'd put Ison in there straight away.
I don't know.
But that's next year.
Yeah, it is next year.
It's next year.
I think it's still very relevant because that's been the lingering question of the whole year, pretty much. And it was for the most of the off-season. I mean, we waited how many weeks after the grand final before Will Kennedy re-signed?
Yeah.
So
he only re-signed a couple of weeks ago for 1 year. I thought there was a report that he is definitely gone in 2027.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I haven't seen that.
And they're on the lookout for a fullback. Anyway, Kalen Ponga's signing there very soon, and they would win a comp with him at fullback.
They would. On a serious note, though, I mean, Pappenhausen is available.
Can he sign with other clubs?
I know that
Lomax can't.
Lomax can't. I don't know if it's the same for Pappy because he only had 1 year left.
Yeah.
So as if you'd
do that to him for 1 year. Pappy'd be good too.
But would you make a move on Pappy for now?
Or I would. I'd be talking to him for sure. You'd just be like, what are you looking for?
Yeah. Can you play now? Or,
Can you play now? But yeah, that's just the one question for me. I think they've developed into a side that has a good tough edge, and they've gone past the out in straight sets kind of finals.
Yeah, for sure.
And now that's moved on to the Raiders and the Bulldogs. So
yes, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So the Sharks are big dogs in the competition. They just need to sort that one spot out and keep the Trindall Hynes combo. Don't get me wrong, still needs work.
Yeah,
but yeah, C+ for me. Positive signs.
All right, Sharkies. Obviously, we've touched on it quite a bit there in a short amount of time with Sav, but I do just want to touch on a few other things that we've missed and sort of take a little bit of a glimpse into next year for the Sharkies too. Addin Fonua-Blake, pretty inconsistent year, and it's pretty strange saying that for a Dalian front rower of the year, but he was pretty up and down. It's not the sort of footy that we've seen from him at the Warriors and that we've seen from him at previous clubs, but look, I think that they sort of didn't need him to be Warriors and Fonua-Blake either. Like he sort of flipped the meters for more aggression and physicality at stages. There were some games where he just wasn't himself, which is obviously you can look and you can see that's quite obvious, but I still think there was other games there where sure, he wasn't getting the 150 odd meters that he usually gets, but he was really, beating teams with his physicality. And, look, I think it's still a pretty decent season for Addin Fonua-Blake, but I don't think it was his absolute best season. And if he has his absolute best season, the Sharks, well, their ceiling is, they can break through their ceiling. Let's just say that. A bit of noise about Jesse Ramian. And what his future entails. That's obviously going to be a pretty interesting watch. We've obviously linked him to a few different clubs. I think that Melbourne could potentially use him there at right centre. I think that the Cowboys could as well, getting a bit of experience back into that back line. People are pretty against Ramian for his defence, and, it can be up and down at stages too, but I think that just getting an experienced guy, even if it's for a couple of years while you develop your younger talent, like as if you wouldn't leap at that opportunity. And I think that Jesse Ramian could excel at a Melbourne Storm in that sort of system and, do quite well at the Cowboys too if they were to get him for next year, because there's a lot of rumours suggesting that he's got an early exit. I think as well it's going to be really interesting in saying that the situation with Sam Stonestreet, obviously he's going to get the first half of the season in the left wing position for Ronaldo Mulatalo, who's done his ACL. When we do see Ronaldo Mulatalo come back into the side, I think that's going to be a huge watch, because if there is any form of, chance that Ramian is going to have an early exit from the Sharks, I think we'll know by that stage, because Sam Stonestreet will just take his spot. Sam Stonestreet, he can play centre, he can play wing in this side and do extremely well. We've seen that on a number of occasions when he's filled in this year. And in previous seasons as well. I think he's definitely ready for first grade, and this Ramian situation is going to be super interesting, and watching Sam Stonestreet and how he goes. Some more positive stuff, though, to wrap up there for the Sharks, because there isn't too much else to talk about. Jesse Calhoun, massive when McInnes was obviously out with that ACL. Really enjoyed the footy from Jesse Calhoun. I thought he was very good. Filled in at lock and did an exceptional job. The start of the year was pretty up and down, and he was in and out of first grade. I think he's a future first grader. I think in the next 5 or so years, you could potentially see him play Origin as well. I think he's that sort of cat. I've really earmarked him as a guy that we could see a massive improvement from next year. Nikora, very talented. Again, this year we saw glimpses of him. He was in and out with injury as well, but I think we've got some really good glimpses of him. And Teague Wilton as well, big improver of season 2025. I think that when he was back from injury, he just went to another level as well. There you go. That is the review for the Sharkies. That's pretty much all we need to talk about there. Anything we've missed, let us know in the comments below, or the Spotify comments if you're listening on the audio version. Subscribe to all Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Plenty of content coming out on the YouTube over the next couple of days. This is our last season review. So go back and look at all the content that we've posted. Obviously, the reaction stuff, looking at your favourite rookies from your favourite clubs. And then, obviously, a little bit of Rugby 360 chat a few weeks ago as well. Last month, I had Isaac Issa on the podcast to discuss Rugby 360 and if it is a real threat. Obviously, we won't know if that's still relevant now because we're recording this on November 20. But we'll have to wait and see. Click down below, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.